trend, and let me tell you the truth. So there is no need for you anymore to we've been trending for years. So I will say for the transparency and the process so that everybody should be free, even when this matter goes out. People have got an evidence with what was discussed in that meeting. So I say let me carry on, let it be record so that Naxasa see the evidence that on this particular day, these are the discussions, this is what transpired, these are the conclusions and the resolution that was taken on that particular day. Yeah, I think we were busy on the background concern raised by the citizen. So issues of police facilities now.
I was still on the platform. I was still on the platform. So remember, our members, bayahamba bayo arrested these people, and then drugs, so our tatas were very good SAP 13, and from this we are so we say a forensic science laboratory. Now, what is happening currently, we pull our drugs. Forensic science laboratory, about phone assess or analyze those drugs. Somebody talking about who change a drug with maybe vim or something like that. So now what is happening at forensic science laboratory, they don't want to analyze those drugs if they come in smaller amounts. But they must come in how can I put it? In bulks, yes. Because like now, what they're saying, remember when people that are dealing, dealers for corn, but when drugs cartels, dealers of if then they come in bulks, is whereby then they can analyze. If they coming in smaller pieces, what they're doing, they're just doing. So now, I want to come back to where you were saying, maybe sometimes they can go to forensic science laboratory and they change it to become a vim or whatever that thing, then it goes back again to the street. So it's like, it goes around in circle like this. So now, if forensic science laboratory doesn't want to analyze those drugs, it's going to be a problem. Because like now, they're saying they want them in big bags. So now, again, we can't get the whole of the drug dealers. I came here. But then I couldn't understand because of previously when I came here, I was from FCS. Been dealing and everything, cases of one. Then they put me under this group. But then I was just hearing, yes, here in Hillbrow they do have those drug dealers.
The issue of drugs is even deep. Where we can see what is happening now. We've got bigger people that modus operandi. They are alleged as unofficials that making these drugs to be as much as it is in our country. Much as I also said, we must so feel that my implementation, that's where I'll give my input. How do we minimize drugs? Because if you look at the issue of drugs, it's all over the world. Most countries, they generate their revenues through selling drugs. You go in Mexico, you go in Colombia, you go in other countries. So it's an issue on its own that needs a determination as South African, how do we stop drugs? And the only way to stop it is through our buyer. We must kill the buyer so that the seller cannot no longer have customers. Because, for an example, I want to make a practical example. You have a shop, and there are no shop access about the hotel. So much in our implementation of the strategies, we need to also include our social development with these boys about we need to go assist our young men. They are true South African, they are leaders of tomorrow. We need to go assist those, take them out from that area. kuningi okumele sikusebenze makufika kule issue yalama drugs, because those sellers laba bajabula kabi lengane zethu bazozibheka because they keeps coming bazothenga. So it's a complex issue on its own. Izofuna ukujula ukuthi njengoba ushilo Nkosi yami. Wathi ifuna ukujula yonke le nkinga esinayo la, and ngithande amazwi ukuthi la Hillbrow you must be a pilot project in all issues to show other stations ukuthi singayinqoba kanjani lento le. Ngoba ngeke sifinyelele kwezinye indawo, but if thina siyenza an example la ukuthi na indlela siyiwine ngale ndlela bazozala bazobuza ukuthi ninqobe kanjani. And then our strategies are corner there within ourselves. There's ideas here. We've got leaders who happens to be police before they becoming police. We've got leaders that are police not being in the side, in a what you call in a uniform. La, it's number police here. You understand? That can help to assist in changing the status quo of say Hillbrow. Because in Joburg, it's been like this for many years, and then we need to change it. And they're taking advantages because of us, we are not united from within the police. So that is why when we said Maslangana, the only way to change the top is us getting together. On the ground, they must see Maslangana, then they will be shaken. With the ground, it's united. So we must change. So there will be over some strategies and implementation in terms of how can we minimize the drugs to be sold in town. Or anywhere, because the drugs, it's a global issue all over the world. So we need to find a way. So how can we stop this thing not to escalate further?
No, thank you. Okay. Oversolution accept our complaints, and also not to accept, to respond to our complaints, because now we are in a decision status. We are no longer interested in turning machine forever. And the sitting I would squeeze solutions. Even today, March was a demonstration. We are celebrating the prayer I see as being on the street is now giving result. And we admire you as a leader of the station here in Hillbrow, initiative in respond to support my brothers here that have just put a very important point in terms of laws and regulations that you are working under and other boards as well. And you work with small things and that tiny things that delay things that you can see which lento wrong kodwa ungakwazi ukuyispot here ngenxa yokuthi usaphula le mthetho. Thina siyakwazi ukugibela ebhilidini siwakhiphe ngqo ama-drugs without a warrant of warrant of search. You go and acquire the warrant of search, you give the criminal the opportunity to resolve the problem. We don't give an opportunity to a criminals to resolve the problem. We just enter and prove which there is a problem. So as my fellow brothers express, I support the idea that when you find drugs, expose them to the society and then destroy them, because simultaneously they will go back to the public, because you are also a head of a station, a police station like Hillbrow, but you are not only leading police officers, you are also leading criminals that are in a police uniform. That is the biggest challenge we have. So if my brothers here are proposing the idea to kill the market, and then the seller will have no option. They want to kill the market. When you take all these people that have been using drugs, that are surviving on drugs, and then you destroy the market, the seller will be frustrated. There will be no longer revenue, and as other countries, Ecuador and Mexico, and everywhere in the world. There's no country that is, is drug-free in the world right now. It proves that is the #1 a criminal business. If they remain and succeed and being manufactured, it proves beyond reasonable doubt that it's very hard to sweep all the nonsense with one broom. So as we are still here today, it may be a historical moment that the station commander and all the leaders of police station in Gauteng, especially here in Hillbrow, if the Hillbrow can change now, the whole South Africa will change. And I can promise you, my leader, if you can take a noble decision saying that can we all hold our hands together with this Induna, with all the leaders of the society, and all together, weekly, we clean the Hillbrow in terms of drugs cartels, in terms of drugs activity on the ground, and in terms of rehabilitating those that have been using drugs, you will see the change in the whole South Africa. As I've said that I was in Clermont, where they've looted shops for foreign nationals. I've said I'm gonna sit here, and I want to see the change happening here in Clermont, so that when the people of Clermont take over spaza shops and containers, so it can exemplary to the whole South Africa that it can happen. Because when you keep on moving point to point, marching, how shall you move? This don't go. You're gonna do it. Never will help us. No, we can't be stupid. We are not here to collapse economy. We are not here. We want the change. The change must begin now. We have demanded the attention. The purpose of marching is to demand the attention to you as our leaders. Now we got attention. What are we marching for?
Yeah.
Now we are waiting for the results and the implementation. Things must happen now. Yabonga.
There are things that we cannot stop not taking place. People will be doing it. Even we make a decision to do it summer, but others will keep on doing it. So they are working simultaneously. Tina says for action. While others are still doing this, intensifying the program to say there must be an action. Tina, like you mentioned, leader here, to say Hillbrow. Like Induna, I like the fact that that point was even raised by Induna himself. Marati, we must be a pilot project of showing other areas with how best we can change the status quo. You understand? He also mentioned to say the drugs are all over the world, but what other plans that we can do, Tina, to minimize them from being escalated in a Hillbrow or Gobulukhlad? We must make an example. Because he mentioned about the frustration of the buyer. The buyer, when he's no longer having, the seller is no longer having buyers, he's going to have to go somewhere. Then when he goes there, we go there and implement the same strategy. He's going to be more frustrated. They will end up not having business. Because they're having business because they still have people to buy. So we need to look at that. I think what is of implementation of strategies, where we're going to need the social development work to be part in helping our children to be rehabilitated and put them in a sector where after they are rehabilitated, we take them in a place where they get a job. They must not go back there and relapse. You understand? I think there is a snatch I must figure out.
Next,
but other than that, leader, it was very significant women corner because I think your ideas and input were going to work, but I think Tina Meskona says I bomb.
No, we trust you, and we can't be on in one place at once.
Okay,
in the Sifuna Manje is to make an example of Hillbrow can be a new world. Because all over the world they know, even people that are still vigilant to go and sell drugs in South Africa, they know that where to land is in Hillbrow.
Drug and Drug Trafficking Act number 140 of 1992. That prohibits anybody that manufacture or sell the drugs. It's supposed that it should have been done, but people ignore those laws. So as we are doing, we are enforcing those laws. By enforcing that, then we become practical, working together to make sure with that law, it does what it's supposed to be done.
Thanks. Welcome everyone. You are right now. Welcome. Then we are in attendance register. It will be circulated. Then we are having the secretary is busy taking the minutes aside. Then Sibambi. Sibambi lesonke. Usitole sokuvumelana ukuthi siyakuphi. And we did iron this thing drugs that we got about the drugs we are winning to these facilities.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Okay. The public station itself is reportedly being used as base for corrupt, illegal and unethical activities by officers, including senior leaders. Leadership, yeah. This allegation is left unaddressed, erode public trust and compromise the integrity of the South African police services. When we come then, I see that weight alleged, but we did touch it again, that the police, in most cases, we find the illegals roaming around all these things, where the corruption starts, all these things. Maybe we did touch it when we're busy elaborating what is happening around our members who are coming here, the illegals coming in and out when they are arrested. Meanwhile, our members from the South Africans, they are not looked after when we do this. But I'm having a challenge when you say the allegations.
No,
we are yet to rectify to
the allegation is alleged. It's simple. Like I mentioned, to say people are the eye of justice. People are the one that can correct the situation without you guys knowing. Hence, there are police officers who knows what is happening there, but they cannot go. But people are the one that the voice to help you out. That is why we are saying that working together with the communities, it will be much easier to combat the crime economic dropping or yonki into. So this misuse of police facilities, it refers back to all things as Kulumenas. Like for an example, when we spoke about that building, ukuthi abantu bakithi bakungenwa kuma building kubhekwa bona laba abawukufika abangabhadala ama services abangayidinela ba treatwa so soft as if that they've got everything in our country, whereas thina esawulwela nomhlaba esayenza nje ukuthi South Africa become liberated and we come to a democratic dispensation, we are treated like we never actually fought for it. People who did not even participate, who were sitting there waiting for us to achieve our freedom, but it was so soft. This thing, it refers to that, to some allegations is recruitment practices and all that stuff. It actually read the background of concern, issues that are raised by the Hillbrow citizens. These are the issues that we need to do. And then so some other police, they're treating this police station as if it's their bedroom, as if it is their house, it's their kitchen. You understand? They forget what the police station belongs to the people. It must give service to the people, not themselves or their families. So I think if we had a lap, it's correct that it changed that background. So it was not now that we already touched the issues that are very important. Now we need to go to the demand. With the demand, he's already as a leader, as we said, but now, because our first demand was the joint operation. Joint operation to fix what? Then who is needed so that we can be on the ground. Because we've got no time. And as we have mentioned, why I'm saying we've got no time, in Joburg, it's the most corrupt, dirty area that it should have been long fixed. If Sinai Lungi is going to collapse, it's going to collapse, I'm telling you. Because if you can look, ama-building amanye ayasha asazi ashiswa kubani. Maybe khona abantu abawashisa purposely so that when even after they left, they must leave us with an infrastructure engasasebenzi esingeke sikhale kuyo. Angithi sikhalela ukuthi lama building must be revert back to the people of this country or converted into RDPs. It can be possible somebody coming from angalishise nje ibhilidi. I'm not saying it's like that, but angalishisa utheni singalitholi noma sesimxoshile ohambile singabenefit anything. So we need to act faster to protect the sovereignty of this Joburg or the entire country. So now I think we need to go there so that sihlanganise inkokheli now from here where to. And just to inform everybody abafikayo. Station commander said he was honoring us because of the memorandum that we have dropped. But there are other meetings that is happening which Nenduna, Conestly, Nabu, Home Affairs, JPC, and other departments at Brixton. But we said, Tina, we want to be an example to them so that must figure Google. Sibabonis would deny Tina si Nina, we are too late. Whatever ideas any now we implement, can you incorporate with us? Tina as abahlali bala sizolungisa la cha. Siqhubeke nani ukuya phambili. Angisivumelana kanjalo nduna. Yebo. So here manje now I think we need to come to a program of action now. We've deliberated. Sesikhulumile is enough now. Now we need to go to the memorandum of demand where if the item number 1, joint operation, maybe you can lead us from there because we need to respond. Now from here, because our demand is said Hillbrow Police Station must invite immigration officer and the Department of Home Affairs to conduct a joint operation enforcing the Immigration Act number 13 of 2002 against undocumented foreign nationals. So which is, I said, must volunteer. Illegal immigrant, it's an administrative issue. It cannot be only be done by you because you needed those people to perform their section 205 and then deportation may be called. How do we take those people out? And then Tina, as a community, must see with the last item. That's where we come to say, how can we assist? Now, since the show, if Mela deport immediately, or if there is a particular period of time Mela deport, see observe, so that we can be the testimony to the people. To say, because what happened is that, with this thing, people are getting arrested, but we don't see them going back. We don't see them moving anywhere. We see people on TV, you mentioned the important border. That we still have a problem of the borders, which there still needs to be improved. We need to invest in our country to make it whole. Because these people are very brave because they can pass through the river. So that is something that we can develop as a country, as citizens of this country, come up with ideas which is our protector. So I think now, Brigadier, you need to take us through now. Now from item number 1, how do we work together, including the community leaders and other donors and other services that is needed here.
Okay, thank you. As he did admit that there are meetings sitting there at Brixton with the generals, the metro, all district department to make a joint operation. Because this thing of march and march is affecting all of us South Africans. But I'm glad because Hillbrow is going to be number 1 to deal with it. Then, after that, we are going to invite them to come here to Hillbrow. Then we organize an operation. On that operation, I won't take all of you, but I will just take the leaders so that they can be around when we do our operation, so that we can eliminate this thing of undocumented people, and Home Affairs will be there. All the stakeholders will be there to attend this. But you, as our ears, we are going to deal with this so that we can do all of these things. Maybe anyone can comment.
Maybe can I?
No, I was taking from the management. Okay, we are fine.
Yeah, maybe can if you say you will get some leaders to participate on the program, what it will give you the problem if it's all the people who are available as citizens, if they become part of the program or the operation, what will be a problem on that? Why it will be specifically to the leaders to participate on the
Okay, when I talk about the participation of the leaders, remember when we plan, we can't plan all of us. There must be a committee who's planning all this thing that where are we going from here? This meeting is not our last meeting. We are still going to have it until we get within Hillbrow. Because if you are saying like you came last week, you say March and March, then I responded, hey, come, let's work together. Then it's not the last meeting. We are still going to deal with this thing until we clean up Hillbrow. If we are not cleaning Hillbrow, then it means we are the failures. But through you working together with us, then we are going to deal with Hillbrow. But when I say all the committee, we must start and sit down, then we discuss, we arrange what are we going to do, where are we starting all these things. This way we can go on to solve the problem. This is what I was saying, that we can win it. My comrade.
Brigadier, I hear you. Hallelujah. What now we need to be looking at the date and the time when are we actually actioning the particular item. One, when are the Home Affairs coming? Because the numbers of foreign nationals who are illegal in our country, I don't even think we would even know the number. We don't have a state. And I think if that foreign nationals knows we are sitting here, they are preparing themselves because they don't know what are the outcome. But in confidence, I will trust the leaders that are all here, that whatever outcomes they come at, it won't even go outside to them. Because within ourselves as South African, we are associated with them. There are people that we are working with, they are friends with foreign nationals. After any discussion, they'll go, hey, be careful, this, that. So we must be very confident enough to say, nobody will go out there and say, this is going to happen. So we need a date as when are we going to see the immigration coming together and plan an operation. Because now we are responding. I mean, we are responding to say to us, no, I'm willing to work with the communities to assist me in combating crime and xenophobia. Such as, as Sensi joint operation, which is some of the items are tables, about drug enforcement, So we want that date. And it mustn't be long, because we met today. So you need, I don't think it will be hard to get a regional executive or regional director or RD where immigration. It's one call away. You can do it even after a year. Let's say, hey, tomorrow or the next tomorrow. They are flexible, those people. I've been in one of the operations where we struggled, where we didn't have an immigration. We made a call, they responded. It depends on the matter on its own. So I think now we need to be very flexible towards this, because time is against us as South Africans. Because you can see things, how they are happening. And if we can't contain and maintain it, our country will go astray. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, we don't want anarchy, we don't want an unled revolution. And the only way to avoid unled revolution is to get involved, all of us, and be proactive on the ground, and show South Africans that we are willing to change our country by action, not by talking on national TV, because of Koloma. But no, I'm sending this there, this there. They must see us on the ground. They must see us. It must see this clean Hillbrow. There's Hillbrow, station commander and his law enforcement with the immigration. They are there with the people. People, they observe, they can see, they can be a testimony, they can be witness. So we need the time and the date. When can we get the immigration come together and let's do a joint operation? Then it will be discussed with the CNC, as we mentioned, we mentioned such thing. That now the ability, so target ability, say, what we do, what we want in that ability. You understand? You mentioned there are buildings that are owned by public works. There are houses that are hijacked, there are JPC houses. How do we get to those houses? How do we make sure that those houses, they tend to become a revenue to our country? Because people who are staying in those buildings, many of them, they don't pay services, they don't pay rent, which is detrimenting the revenues of our country. And you even said as well, if I remind you, this thing here about ibulala thina as a country. Ibulala thina as a country. Because it takes our water, it takes our electricity for free. Today, they want to implement our smart meters across the country. It's because of the country cannot sustain the population as now, because of people who are here in our country illegally, who force themselves into our freedom. As if for stealing. As I advise you, and then I reminded you that one day you will be a brigadier in Nigeria in our watch. That's why we need to fight now to get things into order. So we want a date so that we can be quick and see where do we start the operation or when or day. Please lead me if there's going to see have the input so that it's going to progressive move.
Can I respond on the date? Yeah, on the date, remember they are having a meeting as today.
So that's the interjection, Commander. I'm sorry, I don't want us to focus on that meeting. They do have their meeting, so that meeting, it should be integrated with our ideas. To say we, as a Hillbrow, as a station commander of Hillbrow, I agree with the communities. How do you fit in there?
Yeah, I want to answer that.
Thank you very much.
When I say there's a meeting, after this meeting, I'm going to get the outcome of that meeting. What's happened? How did the immigration officers said how are they going to work with us? Because we must invite them. Without them, we can't. And when can we get them? Remember, it's not only Hillbrow, but as soon as possible, maybe next month, as we are going, it's already month end, we can have a Shanyela around here so that we can deal with this. But like my donor did talk, that we are working under instruction of these things, then I must involve the general that we need this operation as soon as possible here at Hillbrow, because the community of Hillbrow, they want to clean Hillbrow. They don't want to see next year or what. They want it as soon as possible.
We also can add as we talk about immigration, Home Affairs must be there, Public Works must be there, even judiciary, if you can, able to get any senior prosecutor or whoever to be. Yes, because we've got also issues and he must also come on board to work with us. I think those departments, also housing, we need also the people who represent housing to assist when we arrive on the house, that who's the owner of this house. So they must just go straight on the laptop and check immediately while we are doing the operation. So I stop there.
No, I mean, please, until join operation,
Yeah.
you need to give us a direction.
The date, then I'll call you about the date after this meeting, because I must get...
For the joint operation.
Yeah, for the joint operation around Hillbrow, not other station around Hillbrow.
So that joint operation, that means it's going to work towards item number 2, drug enforcement prohibition. And then there's an issue, anti-corruption, Buyo Drugs Trafficking Act, which is now by part.
All these things are going to be part of
So
this.
now, kuna the duty compliance in terms of section 13.4 and 13.2, where we are appealing to your police to act ngendlela abaqashwe ngayo ukwenza umsebenzi wabo. So now we are saying ukuthi, because there will be a joint operation, can the police start now to work with the communities as per the item yokugcina community partnership? I think they singayibamba before even calling other departments. Let the communities be there now. They all separate before other departments.
Yeah.
So that there must be a move. Because the communities give us a letter more of information to say this is the place with your current police that we have even before, because I believe they've got the right as police officer to act, implementing Criminal Procedure Act. Okay.
Yeah, that's
yes. True. I think now what I'm saying is that the community now, we need to have a plan, maybe what you say, let the community leaders and few of community members to come. One pending the actual operational meeting. Because remember the main meeting there is the Yalama department. It's for operation, nothing else. But for layer communities to start to show now the police station, Brigadier and the police of this what you call Hillbrow, they are willing to work with the communities moving forward. Then the communities come and assist. What can you do? They become volunteer. You understand? Because as we speak again, that we spoke about the volunteers who are foreign nationals here. They are CPF, if not mistaken, the chairperson is from Zimbabwe. So we need to deal with those things. The communities must be there now. Apart from that initial operation where it will dealing to clean it out. So I think if ever citizens of Vala, what I can say is that you are approving to all of us to say you are going to work together with the community in order to assist to combat crime as a Tropeni, and in all matters that's been raised in memorandum, with you contacting other departments, as he said, that will bring other departments for a joint operation. Yes, and then the community leaders who are here, the donors and everybody will be part of witnessing that operation that is happening. However, it will be obviously, and at large, with the communities will be observing that. Yeah. There's no way we can say communities don't come. The communities will be there, will observe that. They will take videos, one way or the other. Yeah. You understand? But it will be very significant and important that this thing is done as quick as possible to avoid frustration more. Because the more we don't act, the communities will become frustrated. Now it goes to the same leadership when he said, we are tired of marching. Now we want to come up with another march again. No, it's true. Marching and marching is exhausting. We need to fix the country practical. This march. I've been marching for 10 years, for 7 years now, for this issue of immigration. I've went to union building and sent memorandum, I don't know how many times, but none were responded. So it's time that we need to be proactive and act towards the cries of the people.
Then I'm the only one who's responding.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when I say responding, you came, then I responded that you must come, you must have a meeting. Now I'm suggesting to check your diary. On the 5th of August, can we have a meeting for the planning, for the police station to do the operation?
5th of August for the operation.
No, for the planning.
For the planning of the
Remember,
operation.
before we go out, we must have a planning. Where are we going, and which building, which area are we going to target all these things to clean up Hillbrow? Especially, I hear this thing of drugs, to clean up those things. But we must have a sitting first, then we know that, okay, here's the planning, then on that planning, we as a committee are going to come with the date before we call all this law enforcement about the illegal immigrants.
Brigadier, I think on that meeting, the most significant people are those departments that he has also mentioned as well. We must deal with the low-hanging fruits, which is currently a building of this town are dominated by foreign nationals. We're talking about Section 15, those shops that is to these are the things that we need to look at. As for the drugs, we said we're going to have a strategy as to how can we minimize them to be sold here, because it's a global issue. And then we need to kill the market. How do we kill the market? But we need to go faster where there is too many of these people who are selling drugs in those buildings. Deal with them inside there. If we can, I would say leaders, if we can take away umsebenzi and take the places of this illegal immigrant, Abbas Ijoya, who have won this battle. Because the only thing that makes them to be in our country, banomsebenzi wokubhadala indawo yokuhlala bayasutha bakwazi ukuthengela ukudla. Therefore we must take away our jobs and take the place where they are sitting. Then I'm telling you, there will be no choice. Bazobahlalelani. Awunandawo yokuhlala, awunakudla. Then hambe uyohluphekela kwelakho ilizwe ulungise ilakho ilizwe. Kusale lethu silungise kwethu thina. So these are the two main issues that are very significant when it comes to human settlement, because many of our people are struggling, they don't have a place to stay. And then people are staying in the building there without paying our services, without paying rent, without paying anything. They are detrimenting our revenues of our country. So I think on that, that's why I'm saying that I'm supporting the notion to say you must bring more the human settlement must be there if possibly. Immigration will be there. Immigration is another administrative issue. The law enforcement will be there for public safety and so on and so on. So we need all those people to be part of that.
Okay. Why I'm responding on this is you said you want something to be done by the police
Definitely.
of Hillbrow. Now I'm giving the way forward for the police of Hillbrow. Before we call all the stakeholders to come and do the operation. Because you ask, what are we doing as Hillbrow for now?
Yes.
Then I said, we can have a meeting on the 5th. We do the planning. Then that one, remember I said, I'm going to call the district and understand and get the minute what they did discuss about all the stakeholders. What is the way forward? But for us as Hillbrow, what are we going to do? Then I'm saying, on the 5th, let have a meeting. Melus is it here? Yeah, then I'll communicate with Melus. Then on the 5th, we can have a meeting. Then we discuss this thing about the police of Hillbrow. Then we have a way forward. Then after then, maybe on that day, we'll touch when can we have this meeting with them as a joint operation.
No, I'm not alone here.
Yeah.
There are leaders here before me. So asizwe ezinye inkokheli ukuthi zinelisekile na nge-respond here. A station commander. A station commander is willing to work cooperatively nathi sisihlanganeni ezilabahlali and other leaders. And then it's giving us as a Hillbrow to say, we as a Hillbrow, mina Hillbrow, meeting A5 asihlanganeni so that we can plan our operation. Excluding la manyama department asazobizwa when operation official in ama department full. But then uthatha isinqumo as a Hillbrow ukuthi mina ngifuna ukuqala nani nge5 azeni sohlala phansi display, which that's going to include the community. Angithi mthi right to command.
Yes, as Hillbrow.
Yeah, so it is
as a community. I mean, as a community, when can we have this operation for only Hillbrow police station before we call that joint operation? Yes.
I also support meeting that will be planning the operation, because we can't just come to it without proper planning. And then also I may also encourage that there must be also some surprise visit in some certain buildings that are around Hillbrow that we know for sure that they are selling drugs there, and they kept them in their household. And also, I also support that I will avail myself on the 5th, because now meetings like this with no fruit and are useless. But for now, I'm very happy that I will repeat myself. If Hillbrow can be born again in terms of illegal immigrants and drugs, I can assure you that the whole South Africa will be shaken, and the Hillbrow will be the bigger example of how to resolve such issues. And I will avail myself, and I'm waiting for the time. The date is there. Now is the time. I will be there.
It's the time. Yeah, used to be New York. We used to have man. It used to be New York. As Mohamba, as in the phone, we beg a pan to have Uchi and a thing at time. Sister said, I must take Chino and a pan. Let's guess, I must say trophy. Oh, Mojo, so much teachers pay. wonke umuntu uyazenzela ikhona. We want to restore the dignity of this.
Hayi, mina ngikhamisa ukubonga. Ngibonge kumphathi ngokukhombisa ukuthi uyahambisana lo sibenza futhi nakusho kumele date. Hey, nisenkingeni ukuthola abanye siqonde yonke okusixakile ngiyabonga. Kakhulu. Yazi ngisho ungaba eyuve umphathi wakho ukutshela ukuthi asiye emaphoyiseni sola nomkhizi nendlu yakhe. Uma esesesheshela ifoni yakhe esephucwe nemali yakhe.
Nami ngizokulanda khabazisha.
Ngiyabonga. Ngibonga kakhulu.
Angikhombela ukubingelela izikhulu zikahulumeni, induna, media nonke ngokubambisana. Cha ngithi nje mina ngogcwenza isibongo. Angiluse nje ukubonga kakhulu emithinini nje siqala sizothula lezi inhlelo lezi zongagculiseki phakathi kwaleli dolobha. Bese ngiphinda ngibonga kakhulu umphathi station indlela aphuthume ngayo ukusimamela ukuthi sithini. Cha sithi nje siyabonga, sikulindele sisensizwa thina. Sikulindele ukuthi sizosebenzisana naso. Sokuchaza sikulindele. Yilokho nje kuphela.
Omunye u-station commander athanda ukukusho athi kubonga kakhulu kulamamashi elilila yenziwa because la icrime iseyehlile athi lo bugebengu bakukhona asekuyehle kakhulu sokunoshintsho since kwacala yonke lento ya athi no uyayinqoba umsebenzi wethu. So kusho bona ukuthi kumele nathi sisishayele izandla but the credit is given where it's due. It's low. So I don't know if it's